Hello students, we are going to learn about our new lesson, that is the lesson number 5 from history, the uprising of 1857. So I would like to introduce you first about the lesson. That is almost the whole part of our country was under control by the British East India Company by the year 1856. Now, all the different sections of the society, like the aristocracy, high caste, low caste, then the peasants, artisans, all these the different divisions of the society were very much unhappy, unsatisfied with the powers of the Britishers. Also, they were unhappy with the supporters of the Britishers like the zamindars, landlords, etc. So they revolted against them before the 1857. But all these revolts were isolated, or they revolted against the Britishers individually. So it was very much easy for the Britishers to suppress these revolts as the British power was very massive. Okay, so now we are going to learn about the 1857. So the revolt of 1857 is considered as very important part of the Indian history. It is also considered as the first war of independence. Okay, so the revolt of 1857 is having a very much importance. Now we are going to learn about the causes of the revolt. So the first cause is the political cause. As we know that the chiefs, means the heads and the landlords of the country were very much unhappy with the exploitative land revenue policies applied by the Britishers. Land revenue policies means what? The collection of the taxes. They introduced the many new policies for the land revenues, as we have learnt in the previous lessons. All they believed that the Britishers are depriving their authorities and their powers. So the landlords from the Travancore, Tirunelveli, Aligarh, they organize the local revolts against these cruel policies of the Britishers before 1857. The subsidiary alliance, which was introduced by Lord Wellesley, and the doctrine of lapse introduced by the Lord Dalhousie, with the help of these, Britishers annexed or merged many of the territories of the Indian local rulers. So they discontinue the pension policies and the titles of many rulers as well. So because of these, the native rulers like the Nana Sahib and the Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi, they were dislodged by the Britishers. On the grounds of the misgovernance. Misgovernance means what? Not able to govern the state properly. On the basis of that, they also disposed the Nawab Wajid Ali Shah of Awadh from its post. Nawab became the buffer state by the British into the 18th century. Later, it is also accepted all the terms of the subsidiary alliance, means the Nawab accepted the subsidiary alliance. By 1857-56, the ruler of Awadh was become a puppet in the hands of the British. Again, they also disposed the Nawab and they exiled him to the Calcutta. The people become very much unhappy with the Britishers' exploitative policies, and also they, means the Britishers, exploit the resource of the Awadh. The company used Awadh Sipai in conquering the other parts of India as well. The Awadh's enormous wealth was drained out by the British, and the peasantry suffered as they had to pay the high revenue taxes. The soldiers of the disbanded army lost their jobs. Means the soldiers also lost their jobs because of that subsidiary alliance. So the soldiers were very much unhappy with this. The craftsmen and the entertainers, they were previously patronized by the Nawab. But as the Nawab became the puppet of the Britishers, they also lost their jobs. The Nawab was under control of the Britishers. So all this suffered heavily at the hands of the Britishers. Dalhousie announced 1849 that after Bahadur Shah Zafar, his successors would not allow to use the royal titles and privileges. That means what? The whatever the title as an emperor, it was given to the Bahadur Shah Zafar, that was not allowed to use by the successors. They would have to shift out from the Red Fort, and moreover, to put an end to the Mughal dynasty, the British even removed the Mughal emperor's name from the coins minted by the company. So previously on the coins, the name of the Mughal emperor, it was there, so they removed his name from the coin as well. So these were the political causes. Now we are moving towards the next point, that is the social and religious causes. As we know that the Britishers introduced many new policies everywhere. So they reformed the society of India as well. General Governor General Lord William Bentinck, he declared sati as an illegal practice in 1829. So with the help of law, the practice of sati was banned from the Indian society. Then again, for the improving the condition of the women, they also introduced the law regarding the widow marriage. So they introduced the widow marriage system, and also they encouraged the women to get the Western education. Then the Britishers were applying the racial policies. The Indian people were given a subordinate position everywhere in all the sections. The Indians were not allowed to travel in the first class coach in the train, and because of all these, the Indian people were very much unhappy. The British government supported the Christian missionaries in India as well. They allowed them to own their properties, means the Christian missionaries can own their properties in India, and the Christian missionaries were actively involved in converting the people, and this was made easier after passing of the legislation, means they passed a law in 1850. As per that law, the converted person, means the person who accepted the Christianity, he could inherit the ancestral property, means there was the law made by the Britishers. At the same time, the British taxed the land belonging to the temples and the mosques. So previously the land under the temples and the mosque was revenueless, or the revenue was not applied, but now they started to apply the revenue on that land as well. The British improved the Western education and replaced the English as the official language. So the British declared English as an official language, and because of that, the many Muslims and the Hindus lost their jobs. The next cause, that is the economic causes. The economic policy of the Britishers, as we know that the Britishers were very much concentrated on their own profit. They were not considering about the welfare of the people of India. So the land revenue policies introduced by the British made the life of poor peasants tough. So the many new policies regarding the land revenue introduced by the Britishers, and because of that the life of poor peasants become very much hard or tough. The peasants trapped in the clutches of the moneylenders, and also they often lost their lands. The new class took place of the old zamindar. Okay, so the new class took the place of the old zamindars, and the outsiders were not concerned about the peasantry. The machine-made goods from the Britain were cheaper. So at the same time, there was an industrial revolution, and so the machine-made goods started to flow towards India. So that goods were very much superior, and also they were cheap as well in prices. So the Indian artisans and the craftsmen suffered because of this. The British goods were not taxed in India. Okay, means what? The British goods were not applied taxes, but while the Indian goods were heavily taxed in the British market. So because of that, the traditional Indian industry of the handicrafts was ruined. So now we are moving towards the next reason, that is the military causes. The Indian Sipahi were not satisfied with the policies of the Britishers. So there was a racial discrimination by the Britishers. Their salaries, means the Indian soldiers' salaries, were very much low in comparison to those of the British soldiers, and also they did not get the equal opportunities of the promotions. Even the service allowance or that bhatta was also discontinued by the Britishers. They resented regulation prohibiting of the use of caste marks. In 1856, the company passed the General Service Enlistment Act, according to which every new recruit had to serve overseas. Means they had to move to the foreign lands. So that was also against the religious belief. The crossing the seas is considered as the violation of their religious sentiment. Moreover, the soldiers were unhappy with what was happening in the countryside. Their families lost their traditional lands to the exploitative taxation policies. So due to that, the soldiers were very much unhappy or discontented with the Britishers. So this is how we have completed this part. The remaining part of the lesson we will continue in the next. Thank you.